Hi friends, my name is Millie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a series I want to start reading soon. So I really should not be starting any more series soon because I am in the middle of so many. However, I still have so many series on my TBR that I just really want to get to, so I'm hoping to just make this video kind of hold myself accountable a little bit and look at the ones that I want to read to give me inspiration to finish some series, if that makes any sense. Obviously we're going to be starting off with one of the book series that I'm just hearing so much about at the minute, and I think that's because they are releasing it with new covers, which I think I'm being sent by the publisher, so I'm very excited for those to arrive. But that is the Bridge Kingdom series by Danielle L. Jensen, and this is a fantasy romance series. I've read A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen and I loved it. I adored that book. The sequel, A Curse Carved in Bone, has just come out. I am so excited to get to. I cannot wait, especially after the cliffhanger ending of A Fate Inked in Blood. But this was her first series, I believe, or her previous series, and I don't even think it's completed yet, or maybe the last book is about to come out. I'm not entirely sure, but I did get the first book for Christmas, I think, or for my birthday, I can't remember, in the original cover, but they are coming out with new covers which I'll put on the screen somewhere, and they are gorgeous. I'm so excited to own that whole series with the new covers. But the Bridge Kingdom is about a princess called Lara who I think enters into a fake marriage or an arranged marriage or something with the king of the Bridge Kingdom, which is the only way through this like ravaged land, and it kind of holds that over its surrounding neighbours, including Lara's kingdom. And she's been raised as a warrior despite being a princess, and she knows that she has to be the one to bring this king to his knees. So it just sounds like it's gonna be so much fun. Everyone just raves about this series. I feel like even people who didn't love A Fate Inked in Blood love the Bridge Kingdom, and because I loved A Fate Inked in Blood, I'm hoping that I'll love the Bridge Kingdom even more. Yeah, that's the first one I want to start. Then we've got Malice by John Gwynne. This is the first book in the Faithful and the Fallen series. I've read, what was it? The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. I read that back in February, I believe, start of February, end of January maybe, and I didn't love it. However, I think that might have just been the mood that I was in. It's a kind of Viking Nordic inspired fantasy, and I feel like I just wasn't really in the place to read it at the time that I was reading it. I wanted something epic fantasy, but I don't think that was quite what I was in the mood for, and so I feel like I just need to give John Gwynne another go. I'm still going to continue the Shadow of the Gods series, but not quite yet. I want to start Malice, or the Faithful of the Fallen series, first. There's 4 books in this. Malice is the first one, and I believe this is again Nordic, Viking inspired, Norse mythology kind of based fantasy, which I'm really excited for. And I've heard that this is such a good series. So many people who are fans of John Gwynne rave about this series, so I'm really excited. I also kind of am obsessed with the covers. They just look like such just like old school fantasy, and I'm obsessed. There are giants in this, there are gigantic worms, and there's a prophecy that sorrow is going to darken the world. So our main character, Corbin, wants to become a warrior, make his family proud, but he discovers the true cost of becoming a man when everything he knows is threatened, and only a chosen few know that the fate of the world will be decided between 2 champions, the Black Sun and the Bright Star, and with their coming will be a war to end all wars. Just sounds so like gritty and something you can dig your teeth into. I'm excited. Something a little bit different, The Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is pitched as YA Criminal Minds, and that's all I need to know. Criminal Minds is my favourite TV show. I am obsessed with Criminal Minds. I think about it constantly, recommend it to everybody. Yeah, if you haven't seen Criminal Minds, stop watching this video and go watch Criminal Minds. Like, I don't even care, just go watch Criminal Minds, because Criminal Minds, top tier. Anyway, this is Criminal Minds but in a book and YA, which I'm obsessed with. And I also love Jennifer Lynn Barnes. She is the author of, they're up there, the Inheritance Games series, and I love the Inheritance Games series, so I'm really excited for The Naturals. I believe that, I don't think it's got fantasy elements, but they have like the teens involved in this like group have abilities. Like our main character Cassie is a natural at reading people, So putting together the tiniest details. So is she kind of like Spencer Reid, I guess? Who knows? But yeah, serial killers, Criminal Minds, YA, Jennifer Lynn Barnes, fun little mystery series. This is like right up my street, so I feel like I'm going to absolutely love this. Just anything Criminal Minds. Give me anything Criminal Minds and I'm a happy girl. The next one, going back to fantasy, is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I hear so many good things about this. Everyone loves Robin Hobb who's read her. I don't know a single person who's read Robin Hobb and not loved her books. And I feel like she's going to become like a favourite author of mine. I'm just so intimidated. Assassin's Apprentice is not that big. Assassin's Apprentice is less than 400 pages. But then you've got the rest of the books in just this trilogy, which is the Farseer trilogy. I should know that. Which is the Farseer trilogy. And I'm just looking at them right now. Royal Assassin and Assassin's Quest. And they're so chunky. They are big books. And the whole rest of the series are big books as well. I think the next smallest one is City of Dragons, which is in the Rainwild Chronicles. And even that's pretty big. So I'm intimidated by the series, but at the same time, desperate to read it. I know it's a pretty slow-paced fantasy. I know that it is very character-driven, very character-focused. Like, it's a lot of walking, I've heard, which I'm not mad about. I'm in the mood for a kind of slower paced fantasy, something to just kind of lose myself in, and something that's going to take me a while to digest and to get through, because I just want to be so in a story that that's the case. And I know that it is about a boy called Fitz, or the first one is anyway. Assassin's Apprentice is about a boy called Fitz, who is the bastard son of the Crown Prince, and the Crown Prince then abdicates and Fitz is despised. Poor thing. It's not his fault. He is raised in the castle stables with only the company of the King's Fool, and his unusual affinity with animals provide Fitz with any comfort. So can he speak to animals? I don't know. I've gone into the series completely blind. I want to go in completely blind. I don't want to know hardly anything about the series because I just want to be so taken with the books and so like lost in them, if that makes sense. And then Fitz is then trained as an assassin and to use the traditional magic of the Farseer family, and his tutor, who is allied to another political faction, is determined to discredit, even kill him, but Fitz needs to survive because he is destined to save the kingdom. Very, very excited for that one. Just need to actually pick it up. Then we have got The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. This is the first book in the Licanius trilogy, and these are some big books. This first one is just under 700 pages. I'm pretty sure the next two in the trilogy are even bigger, but I've heard such good things. I specifically have heard good things from watching Becca and the Books' channel. She read this book and absolutely loved it. She also read The Will of the Many by James Islington and loved it, and I feel like I'm gonna love his books too. Just some epic fantasy, you know. That's just what I'm in the mood for. I have got no idea at all what it's even about. There's not even a synopsis on the back of the book. It just says, as destiny calls, a journey begins. With its vibrant setting and grand scope, Shadow of What Was Lost marks the debut of a major new talent in epic fantasy. I don't really need to know that much more about it. I just really want to start it. Then we have got the Windy City series by Liz Tomford. This is actually the last book in the series. Rewind it back. I have the first three on Kindle. Don't have the fourth book, but it takes me so long to get through series anyway that by the time I get to needing to read the fourth book, I'm sure I will then have it on Kindle. But I got sent the final book by the publisher. It arrived 2 days ago, something like that, and everyone is raving about the series. Everyone's been raving about this series for years anyway, but even more so now that the final or the next book is coming out. I think specifically a lot of people's favourite installment is the fourth book, so I am excited to get to that one. I feel like people say that the first one is not that good, which is Mile High, but I'm still really excited to just start the series. It's a romance series, I don't think I mentioned that, and I don't know if it is sports romances or if it's just rich people romances. I have no idea, but everyone's raving about it, and I feel very lucky to have gotten a proof of the final book, but also kind of a fraud because I haven't even started the series yet. So I feel like I really need to start the series before the final book is actually released, which is apparently on the 20th of May, according to this proof. I don't know, just in the mood for It's an interconnected romance series, just in the mood for it. Okay, and then we have got not a new series, but a newly re-released with new covers series from one of my favourite authors who I discovered last year, T. Kingfisher. It's the Saint of Steel series, and the first book is Paladin's Grace, and they have just come out with new covers, so they are gorgeous. You've got Paladin's Grace. I don't know what order these are in, so I'm just going to hold them up. Paladin's Strength, Paladin's Hope, and Paladin's Faith. They are just stunning. I mean, I'm just obsessed. And I love T. Kingfisher. I started my T. Kingfisher journey in October of last year, so not that long ago, about 6-7 months ago. But she's absolutely an author author for me, absolutely a favourite author for me. So I started off with Nettle and Bone, which is a kind of fantasy horror, more fantasy focused, but I loved it. I read it in one train journey and I was obsessed. 5 stars. Then I read The Hollow Places, which is a horror book from her, more horror focused. You will never look at willow trees the same way again after reading that book. Terrified to even go near one. And that was 4.5 stars for me. Still absolutely fantastic. And then I read A Sorceress Comes to Call as part of my reading the Goodreads Choice Awards fantasy nominees for 2024, and that was a 5-star read for me. That is a Goose Girl retelling. So good, literally amazing. It's coming out in paperback in June and everyone should pick it up. Everyone should pick that one up. So for me, T. Kingfisher is an author and I just adore her to the ends of the earth. I love her. So I'm really excited to get to the Saints of Steel series with these new covers. So pretty. I feel this is definitely a more fantasy series from her compared to her horror books, but they will probably have a little bit of a horror element to them and I just love it. And also her books are so funny. They're kind of a very dark humour, but it just hits the spot every single time. I eat them up, I eat her writing up, I eat the humour up. Characters are always so good. There's always like a little bit of a found family element, which I love. The Saints of Steel series, very, very excited. And then we have got the Little Thieves series by Margaret Owen. This is YA fantasy, maybe? The 3rd and final book has just come out and yeah, I've got them all in hardback. I've had Little Thieves since it's come out and I haven't got around to reading it yet, but Naya, my friend Naya, has been telling me to read this series for so long, and the last series which she's been telling me to read for so long, An Ember in the Ashes, I read the first book and was obsessed. 6 stars. So I really need to trust her and then pick up Little Thieves. But I am very, very excited for this one. I don't really know all that much of what it's about, but everyone who's picked this up just seems to love it and I feel like I'm going to as well. So this one I am going to have to look at the synopsis for because I don't really know all that much about it. So Little Thieves is about Vanya, who is the adopted goddaughter of Death and Fortune. Already an amazing concept. So she has long made her own way in the world as the dutiful servant of Princess Giselle, until a year ago when her otherworldly mothers demanded payment for their care and Vanya decided to steal her future back by stealing Giselle's life. With the help of an enchanted string of pearls, Vanya transformed into her former mistress and took her place, leaving the real Giselle a penniless nobody. Now Vanya leads a lonely but lucrative double life as princess and jewel thief, charm and nobility while emptying their coffers to fund her great escape. Till one heist away from freedom, Vanya crosses the wrong god and is cursed to turn into jewels stone by stone. With a feral guardian half-god, Giselle's sinister fiancé and an overeager junior detective on her tail, Vanya has just 2 weeks to pull off her biggest grift yet, or she risks losing more than her freedom. She could lose her life. Oh, and this is another retelling of The Goose Girl. And based off of T. Kingfisher's retelling of The Goose Girl, I apparently love retellings of The Goose Girl. So I'm very excited for this. This sounds like a lot of fun. Also sounds kind of whimsical, cozy-esque, but bizarre at the same time. So I'm very, very excited to start this series. I need to actually do it. I need to actually pick it up. So those were just some of the series that I want to start soon. There are obviously loads more, tons more. Honourable mentions should go to I can't remember the title of the series, but the Cowboy Romance series by Paisley Hope. I really want to start that soon. I have a NetGalley arc of the 3rd book. I have the first 2 on Kindle and NetGalley 1 is going to expire soon, so I really need to start the first 2. Obviously, Brandy Sandy. I think the next one I need to read from Brandon Sanderson is a standalone Warbreaker, but obviously I really want to get to the Stormlight Archive because that seems to be everyone's favourite Brandon Sanderson, so I really want to get to that. There's just so many. There's just too many. I really want to reread the Bone season and properly start that series because I read the Bone season a few years ago, but it has now come out with a sort of newly updated version with like new and improved writing or whatever. Lots of series I want to start soon, but these were just some of them. So if you have read any of these series, if you started any of them, or you finished any of them even, let me know which ones I should pick up first, because it will give me inspiration to then finish some of the series I'm in the middle of so I can start these. I say that as if I don't start new series anyway, even being in the middle of series, in the middle of lots of series, but still, let me know which ones you've read and what you thought of them. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you wanna. If you want to follow me on my Goodreads or my Bookstagram, the links will be down in the description below, so go check those out, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!